Hello, good morning. I almost said Happy New Year. Happy evening, happy afternoon, whatever time it is where you're at. Hello. Also want to say welcome to people who are watching this afterwards, after it's been recorded. If you weren't here live, that's okay. I'm still happy to have you around and watching, so thank you.
I want to say welcome to people who are watching.
Oh, no. Okay. I thought I had it on mute, but I forgot that I changed that. That's okay. All right. So today, just like last week's, which I'm planning on making these a weekly Sunday thing at 9 a.m., it's an Ask Me Anything chit-chatty kind of hangout. I don't have a specific plan, though I do have a rant that I can and will go down if no one wants to ask me questions, but I think you guys will. I'm just stoked for the day. So let's just hang out and chat. It'll be fun. Hello, Dina Galal. You've been around forever. I'm so glad that you're one of my, you're one of the subscribers that I catch your name and I'm like, oh, Dina's here. And thank you for being here this morning. We also got John. He was here early in the chat. Thank you. FOST was also first in line this morning, ready for it. Ajay Sharma. Hi. Hello. Welcome. And then John, of course. I'd love to hear the rant. Maybe it's just me. Yeah. I gave my husband the rant last night. He's heard bits and pieces of it because it's been an ongoing situation. But he was like not that impressed. But I think it's worth talking about. We might get there. Amir says, hello, watching from Pakistan or Pakistan. I don't know how you say it. Or is there I guess in America, it's more like, do you say Pakistan or do you say Pakistan is more how we used to say it. So anytime I say it out loud, I'm wondering if I'm picking the wrong pronunciation. Sorry. Yatati Israel Aluwatobi. I'm sure that I butchered that, but I'm doing my best here. Hello, and thanks for being here. We also got Alex John from Germany, Sarah Miller. Hello. Asif. Hello, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty well. I have a teensy bit of a little bit of a cold or just fall sniffles. It's so foggy and cloudy and dark and rainy here all of a sudden because literally in Oregon, it's summer is beautiful and we get 2.5 months of just sunshine, amazing. And then the second that it turns into fall, overnight, it's okay, it's fall. It's just going to rain for the next, 9 months. So that's fun. Migata, oh my God, we have so many comments here. Nice to meet. Thank you from Nigeria again. Hello, Muhammad. Hello, Joshua. We're going to ask that questions in a sec. July Fit is back here again. Muhammad said that, blah, blah, blah. Yusuf has a question. Why are there so many copywriters, but you never hear of copy readers? That's because copywriters think that they're special and they have to make this niche for themselves, different from writers. But proofreaders just know that they're just proofing whatever the heck it is. Mayuk from India. Hello, thanks for being here. Sheikh, hello from Bangladesh. We've got a whole little international crowd here. We've got a question I'll get to in a second. First time here. Zar, hello. Thank you for being here. And Uniza, hello. Okay, I think that's all the hellos I have right this second. Thank you guys for being here. I'm really glad to see that. So I'm going to scroll back up and see if I can find some more of these questions that I just popped over. So to start, Fala Ahmed said, I am Fiverr's choice and will be completing my TRS requirement before the May 15th. Do you think I can make it? Can't say. Absolutely can't say. Also, keep in mind that if you're on Fiverr and you're curious, I think it's super vague and they don't do a good job of explaining it. But Fiverr's choice, as far as I know, is basically just an algorithm selection. It's not permanent. It just applies sometimes when your gig does well for whatever reason, and it kind of just adds a little bit of differentiation in search. So that's not the ultimate metric of success. I think the best way to get top rated seller is to be selling something that the platform wants to promote. I've heard them say explicitly that they're only selecting top rated sellers that match where they want the platform to be going and just has exceptional rates of customer success. Absolutely. That's the best thing you can do. But no, top rated seller is not common, and it's also not like on a schedule. I'm trying hard on Upwork, but no luck, and your videos have no computer screen. Yeah, some people have mentioned that. They're like, you need to show like, what's it called? Like screencast of yourself, like doing stuff, and then like with a tutorial. And honestly, that's not the kind of content I want to make. Even like I do Fiverr content, obviously, because that's like what I do and what I know so well. But I don't just want to be like a Fiverr channel. I don't want to be a tutorial channel above all else. And I don't have experience on Upwork. So I'm so glad you're here, but all of those things are not in my wheelhouse. FOST Fost says, hey, I've completed my first order a week ago. And my question is, when can I expect to get my second order? Wow, that's quite a question. And I'm glad you like my videos and that they're helpful. That's good. So I don't know. It depends how well you're set up. Check out my other videos. You've got to make sure that your conversion rates are really high, that you're getting enough impressions, you've got enough eyeballs on you. And then of course, once you get that attention, making sure that your conversion rate is really high, your click-through rate, your CTR, to get people to actually click on your gig. And then of course, is your price competitive? Is your script description super thorough? Are your service packages exactly what people are looking for? Do you have a very trustworthy, credible, ready to work kind of attitude that translates to clients? Like all those things matter. And the super unfortunate truth is that there's a chance you might get that first order and then nothing else, if that was kind of a like fluke, if what you have put out there isn't really that well set up. Then maybe that one person wanted to take a chance on you, but I can't promise that's going to happen again. And I definitely can't promise it's going to happen like tomorrow. Out of curiosity, says Kaylee, do you see any value in joining Fiverr Seller Plus program? Ugh. I'm really pissed about it, honestly. I think it's yet another way that the platform is, here's a little Fiverr rant I wasn't planning on going down, but I'll be honest. Some people say I'm like, oh, you're Fiverr's cheerleader or whatever. Like you're so unbiased. And like, in some sense, yeah, I'm unbiased because like I make my whole living there. I want it to be successful and I want people to continue to like use it and trust it because that's where I have my job. But no, I still have opinions and like I still am an individual person and not on Fiverr's payroll in any sense like that. So anyway, I see a lot of Fiverr's recent programs as their attempts to just money grab. One of them is that Fiverr Seller Success Program. And part of it's like personal, that I had a privilege that is no longer there, that I basically have had kind of the success program for years as a pro and top rated seller. It was basically just that I had a success manager assigned to me and it was not worth much. I mean, we talked like once a year, but basically if I had issues, like they would kind of step in on my behalf to help in some cases, or if they saw like a new program that they thought I'd be a good fit for, they would reach out and say like, hey, we're opening a new vertical in the writing category. I think you'd be a good fit for this. You should consider making a gig, kind of like a heads up early. And so for those reasons, that was really valuable to me. And then when they made the Seller Success Program, which of course is a paid subscription, which is so annoying on top of everything else that the platform takes from you in terms of commission. So I lost access to that and I was like, God damn it. So I have signed up. Wow. I have signed up for the Seller Success Program, which makes me so mad. I held out for a couple months and was like, ugh, because I do value like that personal element, which I don't use often. When I do need it, it's really helpful to have a person that I can literally email and say like, hey, this is what's going on. And yeah, the analytics, not really worth it in my opinion, unless you are super like playing around with your metrics a lot and trying to like find keyword. I guess if you're starting out, yeah, the like extended analytics are helpful. But again, I think that should be available to everyone. I think that's so awful that they're like putting that behind a paywall. And the coupons feature, I hate, because that's just a way for the site to not give out their own coupons. Like Fiverr should be putting pop-ups for save 20% on any order for, you know, they have all this data of people, of the buyers who are scrolling the site and browsing and saving things, and they can see when someone's on the edge of conversion. They have way more data than you do. And so the fact that they're putting coupons on the seller side and saying, okay, you have to give out coupons and then you lose even more of your commission because you don't get that amount that you discounted them, versus if the platform just did the coupons, they would help convert more buyers. They, with all of their data, would help sellers be more successful. And if people use site platform coupons, that doesn't affect the seller's commission. But instead, they're putting it on you so that you lose more money. I hate it. Really, really hate it. That makes me really mad. Okay. Did that answer your question? I don't know. But that's a teensy little rant there. True Star, what's a good way to freelance skills you're great at but don't have samples or examples of? So you need to be creating samples. Whether or not you've done them for clients yet, you need to have the practice and know-how and skills to translate that. So basically, in my opinion, if you're going to be selling to clients, you need to have experience practicing selling to clients. So you need to be creating your own fake briefs. You need to be working on sample projects. You need to make sure that once a client steps up and orders with you, you are 100% ready and have the experience to do that. In that process, you're creating your own portfolio. You're creating your own samples. You're creating things that you can show people. And that's not only really good practice for you, but it's a really good way that you can create conversion assets for yourself. Does having orders in queue affect impressions negatively? I don't know. I'm not Fiverr behind the paywall. I'm not Fiverr inside scoop. I honestly think it affects it positively, but I don't know if that's, I guess I can't say for impressions. I don't track my analytics very much, you guys, at all. Cause I don't have to. So I'm busy doing other stuff. My account just kind of rolls along. But I don't know if it helps because people see that there are orders in queue and it helps increase conversions, or if having orders in queue helps with impressions and site algorithm. But I notice typically that when things start to snowball, that when something becomes more popular and I have some orders in queue, that it tends to kind of keep rolling in that direction. Adrian asked, what's the best bid to promote gigs? Oh, this is another part of the Fiverr rant. I hate their gig promotion thing. I used it maybe 3 times, and that was only to use the credit that they gave me to try to give it a shot when it was in beta. And I didn't even use the whole credit. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. It's yet another way that they're money grabbing from you. I absolutely can't stand it. So no, I don't know anything about the bid system. It makes me mad. I'm kind of avoiding it out of spite. It makes me really mad. If I don't edit my gigs the next morning, the impressions go down. I don't think that those two things are related. I would say, Farouk, you're probably trying to game the system here. You're trying to play the algorithm game. My best advice is, if things need to be changed, change them. If they don't, i.e. they're working, then keep it rolling. But do everything that you do. This is my big advice. Everything you do should be client focused. It should be success of people focused. Don't get stuck on the algorithm. Think what's going to work for them. And I guarantee that is what's going to work in general. I Heart Brotherhood says, hi, Carrie, love your content. Yay. Do you think there's an advantage to cold pitching outside of places like Fiverr and Upwork? I've got mixed advice on where to focus my attention as an upcoming writer. It depends where you want to put your attention. That's what it comes down to. If that's how you want to work, if you want to work off platform, then yeah, you should be pitching off platform. If you have leads, if you have a Rolodex, if you've got industry connections, if you're a big networker, absolutely you should be cold pitching off platform. If you have tons of time and you're just wanting to invest in setting up your business and see what happens, go for it. Why not? You're just opening avenues for yourself. But am I talking so fast that my mouth is not aligned with my audio? I don't know. Doesn't matter. But we only have so much time. We only have so much energy. So if you're going to do either of those things, I would suggest just do one and put your energy and focus into it so that it really works. Because if you kind of half-ass two separate things, you're going to kind of get half the results from both, is kind of my opinion. Oyatati says, I was initially thinking it was because I was a low seller level. That's why I don't see the option for subscription on my gig, even when some other people in my niche have the option. I don't know for sure. This is the other thing that's kind of bugging me with Fiverr right now. I feel like they're getting too complicated, and I think that they're kind of like spreading themselves too thin with all of these different features that are kind of rolling out differently. And this is not new. Like over the years, like graphic design has had some new beta feature for like, some portfolio thing that we don't have in writing. Or in writing for a while, they were trying to do like scalable packages. So they had this fancy option for a little slider that people could like choose their word count for a scalable rate. That didn't make sense for other things, right? So that makes sense in some ways, but like with the subscriptions thing, some people have it. I don't know for sure if that is a seller plus feature. I don't know for sure if that's, well, I guess you said some people in your category have it. I don't know. So yeah, if it's available to you and you want to use it, do. If not, just focus on other ways that you can make your packages more enticing, and potentially like help to keep buyers engaged and convert with you with like long-term packages. You can do that yourself. You can make that part of your communication process. Filippo, sorry, this is so small. I'm trying to read your names. How is it with 1,000 views and 11 clicks? Good? Low? I don't know. 1,000 divided by 11. Oh, that's backwards. 11 divided by 1,000 means you have a 0.01 conversion rate. Is that right? That's low. I would say that like dream success level is probably about a 1 to 2% conversion rate. According to what I see on my Seller Plus analytics stuff, one of my gigs has like 1.3% conversion, which already I know I have a low conversion because like my packages are starting at $400. Like the amount of people who are ready to invest that much and are looking for me specifically is pretty small. And I have a lot of impressions. So I know that. Anyway, with like 1.3%, I'm pretty sure one of my gigs has, and it says like, awesome, you're outperforming 97% of other sellers in your category or something. So 0.01% is really low, because then you have the task of then how do you convert those 11 people and turn even 1% of them into an order? Like that's zero. That's less than zero. So the more impressions you can get, the stronger your thumbnail can be, the stronger your title can be. Adding a video, so you've got that little differentiation there. All the things in my SEO video that I've talked about before. All those things, just keep boosting them up. There's room to improve. Great to see you again live. Thanks, Luis. Glad to see you again. So if you don't have the option, it might be a Seller Plus thing. I'm really not sure. Out of curiosity, how long has your longest client been working with you? Any friend from 2013 when you joined the platform? I don't know. I think no one from 2013. And back then I was kind of selling different things. I mean, for one thing, it was like $5 for 500-word blogs. So that's a different genre than what I'm doing now. But also, I think probably the longest person right now is probably like a 3-year span. I can't even think of a single like individual person off the top of my head because I have a lot of kind of ongoing relationships, but it's definitely not uncommon for people to pop back in. And our last message would have been a year ago. And it's just that they are slowly releasing products or they're slowly expanding their site. And like a year and a half, 2 years later, they come back and want more, just kind of out of the blue. There are sellers with 0 reviews with rising talents next to the picture. How does Fiverr select them? I think it's an algorithm thing. Fiverr does not have that many employees, you guys. There are way too many gigs for the number of employees that Fiverr has. I'm pretty sure that it's just automated algorithm thing. The only other thing I can think of is that maybe the other gigs on their account are doing really well, and that's why. So even if one gig has 0 reviews, if they're doing a lot of other things really well, then maybe the platform will pick up on that. I have a question about conversion rate. Oh, you DM'd me on Instagram this morning. Glad you showed up. Because of these situations, we cannot convert the message to orders. I just want to know how it affects our gig. I know that Fiverr tracks conversions. I've heard that internally, message conversions of who orders. I don't know. I mean, I like to think that anything on the platform, anything freelance related like this has some element of humanness in it. Like if they know that my 1.3% click-through rate is exceeding the majority of people, like they know obviously that not every single person who sees your gig is a good fit. I'm going to go by the same logic that not every single person who messages you is a good fit. I don't think that they're expecting you to get 100% conversion rate. There's no way. So yeah, if overwhelmingly people aren't getting what they want out of your, like they saw something, they wanted to message you, they find out that's not really what you offer, or that's not what they want, or it doesn't match up or whatever, and they're leaving, that's obviously a bad sign. But again, turning it back on like my big point here, that's a client-focused problem. That's even more than an algorithm problem. If people are seeing something interesting, gonna message you, and then they're getting a red flag of like, oh, wow, he's a writer, but this guy's message is full of grammar mistakes that I didn't see in his description. That's a big problem. Like his skills don't match up, or the packages that you listed are not really what you're quoting me, or like anything like that is unclear from your description, your gig setup, your packages, whatever. They message you, they're unhappy, they leave. That's a client problem. That's why you should deal with it way more than because it negatively affects impressions. I love the way you do what you do. Thank you. What's the best way to gig skills you're great at? Okay, wait, didn't we already talk about that? Thank you for the compliment, but I think we talked about that. How to start as a newbie copywriter. I've created a portfolio website and created gigs. Please suggest some tips to catch clients. So first of all, if you want to take my copywriting course, it's short, it's sweet, it's to the point. It's got practice samples in it. That's available. It's specifically for e-commerce copywriting. The best thing I can suggest is have incredible samples that when people read your work, and that's whether it's your seller description, your bio about yourself, your package chart, whatever they're reading as a writer needs to be so impressive. They need to see that and say, wow, I want that for my brand. I want that tone of voice. I want that clarity. I want that sharpness. Whatever it is, everything you write, in my opinion, as a writer, is a sample putting forward for yourself of what you can do for them. Being a world-renowned copywriter, have you ever lost to Scrabble? I have not played Scrabble for years. I do. Actually, my favorite game I also haven't played for years, but it's like Scrabble for cards. It's called Quiddler. I think it's a super old game. My neighbors had like this super ratty deck of Quiddler cards that we used to play. And I am really good at Quiddler, and I'm really bad at Scrabble. And I tend to cheat at Scrabble. Unfortunately, it's not my best feature because I get really frustrated when my words don't match anywhere. And then I try to cheat and then see if anyone catches me. My impression rate is getting lower day by day. How to increase it? Work on different keywords, work on making sure that every part of your gig is set up. But ultimately, again, you're not just trying to play an algorithm game, you're trying to play a client game. So if your impressions are going down, is that because people aren't searching for what you need? Is that because you're not matching the search terms that people are using to find you? Is that because there's some other trend happening that you are not taking advantage of? Is it not seasonally appropriate? Like all of these questions are things you should ask yourself too. And put it back on the clients, put it back on the people who matter. Kurav, hello, thanks for being here. I'm trying to diversify more, says OmniRed. Do you think Fiverr is a good platform for developers and programmers? I know you're a writer, but just wondering what kind of area of expertise Fiverr is good for. Yeah, so I'm a writer and I don't know the programming, developmental, coding, technical stuff side of the platform, but I assume that it's growing, pretty much on par with anything else. That seems like a very freelanceable kind of task. The only thing that wouldn't be growing is something that's not easily freelanceable. It's not easily transferable in a platform like Fiverr. So I recommend just checking out like the number of sellers in the category that you want to look through or sell at. Look through the drop-down menus, see what categories are new, see where the platform is expanding offerings or trying to reshuffle categories to make it more clear for what buyers are trending. Look in a private tab and or a private browser and search for, a partial search term of what you think you want to offer. See what the platform is pinging up and what's trending and what they want to suggest, because those are all really good indicators. What kind of advice do you have about picking a niche for my content versus a niche for my service? I don't want to limit myself too much, but want to be smart. Pick your service niche based on what you're most good at and what you most enjoy. Make it personal, make it your work-life balance, center of yourself, because ultimately, if it's going to be successful, you want to do something you love. Picking your niche for the topic area, always start with what you have the most experience with. If you're a finance guy, write finance content. You can promote that as this is real world experience that I'm so good at and I have so much experience with. And I will stand out for that reason. That's a great conversion point. Then follow that up with, 2 ways. What's trending? Again, look in a private browser, see autofill suggestions, see what people are searching for, see what the site is promoting, and then also what's not being totally served right now. So if you see that, I don't know, maybe real estate listing descriptions, you're like, there's got to be a need for this. I would be good at it. And there's not many people offering it. Maybe that'd be a good niche. Maybe if it's not trending, but it's being underserved, then you can find a spot either way. Please suggest some tips to attract clients as a newbie copywriter. Write good content. All the things that attract you for any reason to any seller, any freelancer, do that first. And then just be an incredible writer. How to find what people need. See what's trending. See what other people are selling. Be intuitive. Use your brain. I mean, I don't know. I think that, I don't know. I just think that that's not that hard of a thing to figure out, but maybe I'm wrong. Mohammed regarding Upwork, July 5th says your proposals need to be engaging and targeted to buyers' values. Apply for jobs so you can hit out of the park and provide tremendous value. Yes, providing tremendous value should be like one of our little, I don't know, keywords on this channel. Just it's all about value. It's all about client success. Achini says, hi, Carrie, your video is really helpful. Thank you. Glad to hear it. Can you please do a video regarding publishing gigs on social media? I hate social media, you guys. I hate social media. Wait, let me read your comment. Yeah, okay, sorry. I thought maybe you were asking for a sec if it was like you want to be like a social media seller, but no. I hate social media. I hate it. So here's the next little banner I'm gonna flash up. So this is not the answer to your question. This is just me rambling. I wrote a book. I wrote a sci-fi novel. I'm so freaking excited about it. And I'm self-publishing it. So I'm gonna pre-orders open December 10th. It publishes January 10th. My baby is due January 17th. They're due at like the exact same time. So this better be a success. And he better not come early. So part of that is I'm doing my own marketing plan, and I'm going to be marketing for myself starting November 10th to get through pre-orders, to get through launch. And so I've already like started following accounts on Instagram. I've started like commenting on things. I'm like getting my plan ready for that. Oh my God, I hate Instagram. It makes me want to unalive myself. It's literally disgusting. I hate social media marketing. Already like there's like so many bot accounts or like, ew, I hate it. So that in a nutshell is I hate it. I try to avoid it at all costs. I currently cannot. So I have to just man up and figure out how I can not want to kill myself during this marketing period. But God, what was I going to say? Oh, okay. Here's the thing I was going to say. My one saving grace of like why YouTube is working for me and I still enjoy it, and what I'm going to try so hard to do with my social media marketing strategy for this book, is that I want to create content that I'm proud of, that was worth creating for me, and that I think people will be worth it for them. Like, I don't want to play the game. I don't want to do the disgusting whatever. So like, I think this, in my gut, I think this works. I think you've just got to create content that has value and meaning for you and that will translate to other people. And just, again, think people. Like, people matter so much. They're ultimately what matters above all else. And whether you're on social media or you're on Fiverr or you're cold pitching in emails, like whatever it is, you've just got to create content that really matters and that people can enjoy. So that's my teensy little social media rant here. Akshay is clapping. Thank you. Dina Glal says, have you ever tried making money through transcription websites? I have not. I've never tried transcription, but I don't think I'd like that because I want really creative projects, and that's like the least creative thing I can think of. Ugh. What do you think about Freelancer? I assume you mean freelancer.com, and I've never tried it. I've heard it's kind of a cesspit, like more so than, all of these sites can honestly be massive cesspits. So like, that's pretty gross, but yeah. All right. We've got this question a bunch, but I've already answered it. I want to get into freelancing, but instead of competing in platforms like Fiverr, isn't it better to reach out to businesses on LinkedIn or Crunchbase who recently got funded? That's another option. You can do it. There's ways to build a business that is not just one answer. It depends how you want to put your energy. It depends what you're really good at. Are you a strong salesman? Are you really like cold pitching is your jam and you want the rejection of that? Or are you more like me and you don't like selling, but you just want to confidently state what you can do and just let people come to you if it's a good fit, and have more like a like from the initial meetup, it's like a partnership. It's like a collaboration versus you're pitching and selling to them. They're very two different avenues, and it matches, however you want your business to look. Freelancer seems super scammy. I deleted my account there a long time ago. Yeah, I don't have experiences with it, but that's kind of what I've heard. Although people say the same thing about Fiverr. Like, people say the same thing about anything. If you have a bad experience online, it's really easy to complain. All right. I see you are commenting a billion times, so you're on timeout. Thank you. Where can I learn content writing? Ayo. Check out my copywriting course. Copywriting and content writing are technically different, but I have a strong opinion that they're really, really similar. Work on language fundamentals first. Read a lot. Practice a lot. Take a course, although I think courses are overwhelmingly bad. Yeah, practice. Is there a way to avoid fraud payment? Well, that's like one thing that the platform has for you. They act as your escrow. They have chargeback protection. So like the site, that wouldn't be a problem. Is it common to get orders from only one gig and the others don't do as well? Maybe one order every few months. Makes me worried because my account fully depends on one gig. So that's either because the other things you're offering aren't popular. There's not enough need for them. So check your impressions, or they're even more than impressions. Check like how many other sellers are doing it in that category and who else is being successful. Check out your impressions. Make sure that those are SEO optimized, that you're doing really well. If they're not succeeding, like there's changes you can make. Think about client experiences always. Are people messaging you and then not converting? Or is there like a disconnect and you give them an answer and they're like, oh, that's not what I thought this was. That's not what I was looking for. That's something you can fix. It's definitely not uncommon that one or two of my gigs are like peaking in popularity at once, but that tends to rotate. So in my account personally, which here's the link up now. In my account personally, my account has never been solely reliant on one gig. it might for a short period of time have something be more popular, but the way that I've set up my services and pretty much optimized everything to be client focused and really successful for them when they order, that it rotates and overall the account feels stable. Which is better, Fiverr or Upwork? Well, Prasad, I haven't sold on Upwork, so I can't tell you. But as I mentioned before, I really like that Fiverr is more pitch yourself with confidence. And if it's a good fit for them, the buyers come to you. I don't like the idea of having to pitch and bid on specific projects, which I feel like is a race to the bottom for pricing and requires way more like time from you. I want to focus on client work. I want to focus on things once they like get rolling that I can just work and love what I do. Cigar asked, many times I have seen if the order is canceled in mutual consent with customer support and the buyer, although there is no effect on account stats, still the gig ranking drops. I don't know. This is another thing that I think Fiverr places too much stock in cancellations. And I think that that's obviously finance driven. I think that that's not success driven. Although, I mean, anytime that someone even if it's the buyer's fault, like let's be human focused here again. If the buyer ordered on accident, unless they're an actual just like idiot, there was something that they saw probably. I mean, they are a little bit of an idiot if they like got the whole way through payment and ordering and everything, and then it's like just super not what you offer or whatever. But if they got that far, there was something in what you were saying that led them down that path to make a mistaken order. Again, that's like the most cliche of why mutual cancellations happen. And then if they have to cancel that order, that's still a loss for them. That's still lost time. That's still lost patience. They may be less happy with the platform in general. They're definitely not happy with you, that what they thought they were hiring someone for, they can't deliver or follow through with. Again, regardless if it's your fault or theirs. And I think that human focus, that's not a big deal because the person ordered something that's not right and you want them to be happy and successful and move on with their life. So a refund is the best option. But in terms of, there is going to be a little bit of a negative impact because ultimately it's not a successful interaction. So I can see very realistically that would affect your account negatively in some teensy little way, even if that feels not entirely fair. Does that make sense? I don't know. Yeah, thanks for being my little moderator. I feel like giving up on Fiverr. I tried everything, but nothing works. Naimul Islam. Well, do you have the skills? Are you delivering tremendous value? Are you promoting your credibility with actual unbelievable confidence? Are you meeting needs that exist for clients? Are you promoting yourself in a way that differentiates visually? Are you competing in a small enough pool? There has to be enough interest that people need you, want your services, but also not that like you're competing in an oversaturated category where no one's ever going to find you. I feel like I'm just a broken record because I say this advice all the time, but I don't think that if you're doing things right, you're going to fail. And that's my super, super hard truth. So if it's failing, you're doing something wrong. Any of those things. And the hard thing is you've got to figure out which of those things isn't working. That's my hard truth. So if you're interested in one-on-one advising, I do offer that. We will have a one-on-one consult. You'll get personal advice. You'll get strategic insight from you. Yeah, I can't make that, I can't make any general assumptions there. Hi, Carrie, says MM. Hello, welcome back. How often do you get back to your clients and do you take a day off? I work every day a little bit because I'd rather work a little bit every day than work more 5 days a week. I think that a work week is silly when you can have a job like mine that's super flexible. So like it's Sunday morning and I'm having a live stream. I consider this my work time. I woke up this morning and answered messages. I do that every morning. My response time is like an hour to 2 hours. If I'm not doing anything, even if I'm just like casually watching TV, of course I'm going to respond to them on my phone. If I'm at a family dinner, no, I'm not going to respond to them. Like, it all just comes down to how I want to spend my time, and if it makes sense in the moment to message them and work with them. If I have no plans on a Saturday morning and I'll work, because then I get the whole rest of my day off, and then I get Monday afternoon off to go hang out with my mom for coffee or like whatever. Yeah. So my schedule definitely isn't, I don't know. Oh, Yatati, I did answer your question. So just rewatch the thing when it gets recorded, and you can scroll back and find the answer. How do you know when a niche is too saturated on Fiverr? There's not like an exact science to this, but look at the number of sellers who are offering gigs in that category. Be realistic about how hard it's going to be to show up in search and get, a foothold in that. If you have a gig, look at your impressions for it. If your impressions are super low, that's either because your titles and tags and SEO and stuff are wrong, or because you're in such an oversaturated niche, too generic, too broad, that there's too many other people showing up ahead of you in the search rankings and that you're not getting visibility. Yeah, it's just kind of a sense. I don't know. So it's hard to explain. Again, if you want to consult with me, if you want to consult with me one-on-one, I can provide more, personalized feedback, but in a general sense, I don't know. We talked about that. Do I know anything about 5 Squid? I've never heard of that before. Is it worth trying Seller Plus? I did answer that already. Make sure to check back when the recorded video pops up in a couple, or at the end of this stream, and then you'll see it. The best skill to learn to make money freelancing? I hate that question. I'm sorry, Melvin Jichu. What are you good at? What do you want to be good at? What do you see other people being good at? What are the client experiences that you want to help with? Start there. Is changing description and title of my gig a few times going to reduce the impressions? I'm going to say this so many times, you guys. Stop worrying about the goddamn algorithm. Just do what's right for clients. If the description's not working, if the description is creating client confusion, if it's not accurately describing what you do, then it needs to be changed. And don't not do that just because you're worried about a robot putting you down 3 more clicks and stop. Just, if it needs to be done, then do it. Because ultimately, even if you get the impressions and people show up and your description's bad, they're not going to convert, and it's just you're not helping yourself down the line. Where can I showcase my content writing? Like Behance or Dribble, are there any showcase websites for content writing? You can see what I do. I have a personal website. It's carrieblogger.com. I format my little excerpts as pictures so that they don't SEO problem for my clients. I don't know of any specific content writing. If you do it as a picture, then you could do any portfolio site. Even a PDF, like a well-formatted PDF you can send. I don't know. Do you work 7 days a week? Yes, I answered that. I pretty much do. If I want to take a day off for 2 or 7, I do. But yeah, I'd rather work a little bit every single day. You got put on pause. How long did you get orders on Fiverr when you opened your account? Says Malay. You should watch my, I don't even know if I can easily find this. Doesn't matter. I have a video that's a story time. It's pretty old now. It might be 2 years old, of me talking about my start on Fiverr, how I went from in grad school, gonna get a teaching job, to doing this. And so that was back in 2013, and it was probably 4 weeks, maybe 6 weeks. No, it was less than that. It was so long ago, honestly. Let's say 4 weeks. And then I got a couple, 1, 2, 3, 4 orders. And then overnight, I woke up with, 35 orders in queue, and it completely snowballed from there. So I feel like my story is not normal because it was so long ago and the platform worked in a different way than it does now. But also just that literal overnight success is so rare and I wouldn't expect it. I wouldn't wait for that to happen, but that's what happened for me. If I'm good at nothing, how should I break into the space of content creation? I just don't know anything. I am just best for nothing. Oh, well, that's sad, Nikhil. So let's do some positive self-talk here because you are good at some things. I'm going to hope that that was just a meme comment. If it's not, I'm sorry that you're feeling that way. And I'm sorry that you have that, assessment of yourself, because we all have skills. We all have things that we're really good at. And even if you're not really good at something, you have interest in something. Like, start there. Even if you don't have something that you're incredible at, what are you interested in? Start there, follow that passion, and see what it turns into. Thanks. Thank you, Darsh. Glad you liked the videos. Okay, sorry, clicker. You are annoying. All right. I haven't read cash advertising. I have a handful of copywriting books. I only read them because I wanted to do some book reviews on them, and the majority of them were terrible and just made me really mad. So I don't know. I don't have a good impression of most copywriting books. Yeah, Dina, unfortunately, people who don't play the social media game grow slowly. Yep, that's why the channel doesn't even have 10,000 subscribers right now, because I don't want to be a Fiverr tutorial channel. I know that that's like clearly what other people are doing that's like growing faster, but it's not what I want to do. I don't want to play the game. I don't want to do it. I have 7 years of experience. Should I work for cheap or free to grow and be seen on Fiverr? In the process of degrading myself to just get work. If your 7 years of experience actually translates to credible, sellable skills and you have exceptional value that you're delivering for clients, no, absolutely not. You need to be charging what matches your credibility level. I say this all the time. That's always my advice. You know what you're worth. It's your job to then promote credibility that matches that so that clients see it and believe it and want to work with you for that. Are you a full-time Fiverr seller, or do you have an offline business as well? No, I really am a full-time Fiverr seller. I don't have any business off platform, partially because I don't want to manage. I could. It'd probably be better for me revenue-wise. And I've considered it, but I like the way things work right now. And as I always say, like, my work-life balance is so important to me. And so not making as much money is not my top priority, which I mentioned in Friday's work-life balance video. It's just not. And so, no, I don't have an offline business. Offline in the sense that I work with physical, like local clients, no, because I don't live in a big town. And off-platform, no, because I don't want to have to manage it. Hey, Carrie says, I'm sorry. I'm literally like looking at these letters. I'm super dizzy all of a sudden. Gaia 3. Okay. That was like, I feel like I had dyslexia for 2 seconds. That was not making any sense. Hey, Carrie. Sorry. That's not your name problem. That was a me problem. I admire you so much, and it often gets me wondering how I can have such a good command over English as you do. Any resource recommendations for getting better at the language? I think I'm so lucky, so blessed and lucky to just have been born in America. Like, let's just get that out of the way. That is a privilege in a global world, interconnected economy that prioritizes English language. Like, hey, yo. I've also just always been a language person. Like, I've just been language inclined. I loved to read as a kid. I was an early reader. I was an advanced early reader. And so I feel like I haven't had to work very hard at it, which has been nice because it's just like an inherent skill that I have. So I honestly don't know how to recommend that other than to read a lot, and not just marketing content, if that's the area you want to go into, but just read. And I think that we learn so much about how language fits together based on seeing it done correctly, and practice a lot. Run everything through, grammar checkers, and you'll find over time little, like habits that you have that aren't right, or rules that you've misunderstood, or formatting that isn't accurate. And just by practicing and seeing those mistakes, you'll naturally over time realize what the mistake is and fix it. Like I have mentioned before, I'm really bad at, I could not deconstruct a sentence and tell you what the subject or object of the sentence is, or a past participle. That's not how I think about language, but it's definitely worth doing if you're a non-native speaker, or if you just don't have that language intuition and fundamental command of the language. Probably even just taking actual English courses. Don't worry about copywriting courses and sales specific courses. If you want to just be stronger as a writer, take English grammar courses, take actual writing language courses. I think would probably be the best place to start. Wow, I'm dizzy all of a sudden. Oof. Hey, Carrie, what should one do if orders aren't coming? Well, Kashoof, you got to fix it. You got to see where the problem is. And I can't, I'm literally just a broken record. This is going to get so old if I literally get all the same questions every single week, which I will. I can't tell you, without looking at your gig, without seeing what you're doing, without assessing your individual strategy. I can't say why you're not getting orders, because there's a million things that can be impacting it. But you've got to kind of start down the pipeline of, am I getting impressions? Am I targeting a niche that is both trending enough and in demand enough that I have an audience that wants it, but also niche enough that I can stand out and actually have, a carve out in my impressions. And then from there, if you're getting impressions and you're not getting clicks, is your click-through rate, how can you improve that with your gig thumbnail and your video and your title and your pricing, your color scheme, your visuals, the general credible personality you're putting forward? If you're getting clicks, not messages, if you're not getting messages, if you're not getting orders, you just got to go back through the pipeline and see where that problem first starts. And then you can kind of go from there. How many courses do you offer and which one do you recommend? Also, if I take your course, will I get the badge on my profile? Good question, MM. So this is my one and only course. It's through Fiverr Learn. It's about e-commerce copywriting, and obviously I recommend it. I would never put something out that I'm not incredibly proud of and think is going to deliver real value. And the way that I did it was I really centered it on real world examples. So with every section of the course, I show my sample writing and would talk you through a practice brief for you to then practice that as well. So I think that that's just practice is the best way to do anything. It's short, but I think it's really worth it. And the other thing is, yes, you will get the badge on Fiverr because it runs through Fiverr Learn. So that will show up on your account. When doing research for a gig, as I understand, says Tom, you use a reputable source and then put their words into your words, then put the link at the end. I think you're asking about article or blog writing research, and it depends on the article because not everything needs research. If I'm writing, a couple weeks ago, I was working with a biscotti company, this artisanal biscotti bakery, and they wanted a blog about fall inspired cocktails for parties that you can serve with biscotti. No, I didn't have to include research links for that kind of an article. It just depends. How will freelancing grow in the next 10 years? I'm sorry, I definitely cannot pronounce your name, but I see your comment. I think it's going to continue to grow, because I think that if what we've seen so far is accurate, I think that it's just going to continue to get more accessibility in terms of connecting software, in terms of payment accessibility, in terms of, provable credibility and online safety in general will continue to improve. And I think that once those things get locked in, that really opens up avenues for freelancers and independent contractors to sell their services without the need of overarching company infrastructure, because that, more than anything, I think was what they used to be offering. Like, a company had some sense of payment security that like an individual couldn't offer when you were just accepting checks in the mail, right? And so as that kind of stuff continues to evolve and grow, I think that it's really going to empower people to have the opportunity to do things on their own. And for more importantly, for buyers and clients to feel more secure in their decisions to hire freelancers, and also just like accessibility of finding them. So I 1000% think that it's going to continue to grow and be more common, and that hopefully as that becomes true and it becomes more of a shift, it'll become more separate or faster separations of really successful, credible, vetted, talented sellers who are delivering more traditional agency level work versus people who are not even scamming. I don't want to say that it's like in bad taste, but people who don't have skills, people who aren't committed, people who aren't seeing this as a business. I think that hopefully is the one difference that's going to happen over the next 10 years, that software accessibility, commonality, popularity, whatever, is going to make it much easier and faster to distinguish between those two groups, so that the $5 scammy, bad delivery, whatever, kind of is less of a concern than it is right now. How much do I earn per month on Fiverr? It depends, but last month I had a $20,000 month, my first one ever, which is insane. I was pretty busy and it was a really good month. That was my best month ever, I think, to date. I just want to hit 100,000, 120,000. It's kind of like my goal for the year, and I just kind of track things out to make sure that I'm kind of like on track for that. I've already hit that goal this year. I think I'm at 125 right now, as of like today, as of last time I updated my spreadsheet. So yeah, month to month depends. October is really slow right now, which is nice because I'm so busy with my book and all these other things that I want to work on personally. But yeah, Fiverr is a very lucrative opportunity for me, and I'm very, very lucky to be able to do what I do and do what I love and get paid well for it. Okay, a couple more questions. We got 2 more minutes and then I'm kicking it out. Tom, is there any way to reconcile a negative review, like offer free services to improve their rating? No. You should, reconcile if you feel like it just was a misunderstanding and you want that customer service element. But 1,000 and million and trillion% do not make any kind of question or claim or offer to give them something in order to improve their rating, because that is a huge no-no. And you will get in massive trouble for that. No, you can't do anything to try to manipulate ratings. When LinkedIn's marketplace launches soon, are you worried for Fiverr's future? How do you think Fiverr's future will plan out? I don't know. I try not to like look at the big picture. That sounds awful because my advice is to like, do your research and whatever. I don't know. My business has grown sustainably since I started, like beyond my wildest dreams sustainably. And that's all with changes that have happened. The platform has changed, and when new things come out, people are like, oh no, aren't you worried about this? No. There have been so many new freelancing platforms that have come out that the press says, this is going to be the new thing. And am I worried? No. Because I continue to put clients first. I continue to do incredible work. I have, industry connections that I'm really proud of, and I think that I can build off platform, but I just focus on the work that I love to do and what's working right now and continue to optimize it as best I can. And I don't let myself get negatively overwhelmed by external factors that I can't control. I just focus on what I can do, what I can control, and how to, make it work. Okay, it's 10 o'clock. Thank you so much. Here's a quick little scroll through a couple more times of some important links. You can see what I do at carrieblogger.com. I have some free resources at peachbay.me/carrieblogger. Check that out if you're interested. One-on-one advising. If my advice sounded a little generic and you'd like, some one-on-one strategy personalized, I can only offer that realistically if we work together one-on-one. Excuse me, my copywriting course is available at bit.ly/carrieblogger course. That's through Fiverr Learn. If you're on Fiverr, you will get a badge on your profile when you complete it. And if you're interested in pre-ordering my book, my sci-fi novel, I'm so proud of it, go to carriefrenchauthor.com and join my pre-order waitlist because it's going to open on December 10th. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm so glad that we got to have this chat. I will be back next Sunday at 9 a.m. And I hope you have a lovely week. See ya.